Population-wise, I think it's only about 31%. Post-90s, and born after 1990s. But it constitutes more than 52% of the mobile internet users. So I think all of you may be familiar, some of you may be familiar with the phrase that all these internet technologies is managed by those who were born in the 60s and 70s, managing a group of 80s and building products for the 90s, right? So, anyhow, I think it's very real, and it's kind of scary for us too. For us who are managing teams and people who are building these technologies, they constantly have to think about whether the bulk of the market is how do they use the mobile internet. So for those of you, among you, who are thinking of starting a company, you're in the best spot, right? Because you are in the right category. And your smartphones, right? You can see what other ways to connect to the internet. And your own other devices, cars, smart TV, wearables, what have you, right? And you look at 2015, right? It's only the beginning, right? And there's a lot more to go beyond that, and everything will be connected in the mobile era. And what does it mean? All these things will bring to an explosion of data, big data. Okay? And it was projected that by 2020, 5 years from now, there will be 40 zettabytes of data. What's 40 zettabytes? I don't know, there's a lot of zeros behind it. But just for comparison the scale, I look at the kind of investment in the data center today. We built data centers in China, and to deal with so much information, so much data that's generated every day. And it's going to increase about more than 5 times in the next 5 years. Isn't that scary? A lot of data being generated. Then you ask yourself this question: are these data just data sitting around and then maybe buried away somewhere, and then a few hundred years ago there were anthropologists looking through and then they find these bits and zeros? I don't know, maybe that's the case, but we think that these data are actually very, very useful. And if you use good use of them, you can do something smart. So more data give you better products and smarter services. That's what we believe. And this is what we call the virtuous circle of artificial intelligence. All of us want great products and services. All of us want to build a company to provide great stuff and great products and services. And we give that to users use them and generate a lot of data. But in the past, all these data stop here, what do you do, right? Well, we take the data, we mine them, we find information, patterns among them, and then from there, we improve our products, right? And we have better products, more users will use them, and more users will drive more data. Again, we get smarter, even better products, and so on and so forth. So this circle will go on by itself. And the key thing is that the AI piece, right, that connects the data back to the product. They do something good with these data so that you have better and better, smarter products, and people will use it and like it even more. Okay? So we are at this stage right now. So there's a new term here called deep learning. It's a new technology. Baidu, like other internet companies, are in the forefront and chasing this technology dream, right, called deep learning. What's deep learning? It will help us break the data barrier. If you look at the chart on the left-hand side, in the past, the whole algorithm that we know today, well, in the past, many years ago, when I go to school, the learning algorithms will kind of plateau after a while. When you give it more data, you will not help anymore. A lot of things we do, even if you just copy more data, you just plateau, and that's represented by the red line. But the blue line is the deep learning algorithm. It's a new kind of algorithm. It's been around for a while, but only until now, and I'll explain later why, that this can empower us to continue to have better performance. Okay? And better performance meaning that you can do a lot smarter things, recognize images, recognize voices, and everything a lot better. Okay? We are at this turning point right now, in the moment industry. The moment industry is very interesting. So the goal here is to build a big system, what we call neural networks, a big system to do this learning. Okay. We start by building systems that has 10 million connections, and then to a billion, 10 billion. And we have planned to move to 100 billion. And what are these connections? And what is deep learning? Imagine that you have a human brain, you have all these neurons and they're all connected together. And does anybody know how many neurons you have in the brain? Like, to the order of billions? Yeah, to the order of 100 billion. 100 billion. So, yeah, very good. And there are maybe about 100 trillion connections between them. This is a typical human brain. Okay? And we are so smart, right? Because of all these connections and all these processes behind them. Right? So what we are intending to build, we are really about only like 3 zeros away from what's the human brain. But we see that the bigger we build in the system, and the technology is beginning to allow us to do so, we can build smarter and smarter services. They can recognize a lot of things and so on. And can build some application data. So essentially, deep learning algorithm allows us to build networks, layers and layers of networks of nodes. The nodes are connected together, and it helps us make decisions all the time. Just for instance, right? In my background, we build an ad system. I have like hundreds of thousands of millions of ads, right? To show in split second to when somebody query iPhone. Somehow I have to pick a handful of less than 10 ads to show in front of him that I think he will respond. Okay. So every ad that I have to go through this neural system, making this judgment and say, good or not good. If it's good, I'll show. Right? Again, with a certain degree of confidence. So this is very exciting. This technology is already in use today. And just now we say that the Baidu revenue can grow very rapidly over the last couple of years. A lot due to this large-scale, extremely large-scale machine learning behind the scenes. So why deep learning is taking off? So you see a rocket, it has an engine, and you spread a lot of fuel, right? So the engine is a large neural network we talk about, and the fuel will be all kinds of data that we ever collected, from the phones, from watches, all the photos you have taken, the GPS location where you are, and so on, and intelligent homes going forward. And all these are going to help us make intelligent, smart decisions about what to recommend and what to provide as an online internet service. So why now? This is an interesting question. Why now? Okay. I think there are several key things that makes it happen, and this is the perfect storm. Only this couple of years, it's going to change the world and accelerate the pace of doing so. This is the time. So you want to start a company, this is the time. Big benefit. First of all, we have cloud computing, right? So a few years ago, people start understanding how to process a lot of data in the cloud computing system. In the past, there are big data managed by some big companies buying IBM mainframes and then crunch all the numbers themselves. Right? Walmart, for example, they built great data warehouses so that it can know within 15 minutes what has been sold at every single point of sale across the United States. These are all big data applications. And it's been done 10, 20 years ago. But what's different right now is that everybody can start doing so using cloud, using Amazon cloud. And in China, there are many clouds offered as well. And also, the not only so of their public clouds, engineers, technologists, are beginning to program in a way they can do these large-scale distributed computing pressure. And this only happened in the last couple of years where all the computer science graduates, they'll come out and they'll see, oh, this is how I can generate this data processing. And it's becoming easier and easier. The barrier of entry is becoming lower and lower. So cloud computing, make it happen, and all people can contribute to that. Big data, of course, there are more data, a lot more now than before, to make something intelligent. AI, of course, the deep learning algorithm, it has been around, I think the breakthrough came maybe around 2007. But it's only until after 2010, 2011, when they start applying these deep learning technologies into some of the tough problems that they couldn't solve before, like recognizing images, like recognizing voices to very high accuracy, and also discovering new drugs by crunching the proteins and DNA sequences. So all these things are happening with these AI technology, with the data, with the cloud. And also, people behavior changes. Today, I'm looking at image search and voice search. Today, people search on Baidu through voice images about 10% of the time. 10%. People will speak into it. I don't know. Do you use Siri or voice search on your phone? Yeah? Good. Wow. I guess the percentage from in the post-90s group is even higher. You see that in the next 5 years, 50% of the query searches today will be voice or images. Probably perhaps more so voice than images. So that's again, that's going to change the way you look at the world. In fact, that might change the way how a phone looks like. Imagine you have, right now the accuracy for many of the technologies, leading technologies, we have 95, 96%. But it's still not 99.9%. When you have voice recognition working at 99.9%, you bet. You can just talk to the phone and the phone understands why you need to have buttons at all. Can you imagine that? It's a new kind of phone.